Survival with a cause, just a girl up with a thrill. Wandering through the shadows, never knowing what to feel. I thought I was a shaman, master whispers in the night. They underestimated, tried to keep me from the light. But I saw them mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that eternal return? Are you conscious, do you burn, do you want to learn? Do you whisper in the dark, that's like if you wanna see. Figure out how to treat this water, take it if you're free. Loopholes, riddles, victims asking why. Justice brings some grace, echo spirits of sky. Oh, but I saw them mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that eternal return? Are you conscious, do you burn, do you want to learn? Nothing very nice, keep a smile in the ground. The roots grew deeper and we made a sound. I'm the who took it, who never stopped to fight. Reversing the shadows between truth and light. Throwing balls and victims, they won't be ignored. I'm here for justice to settle the score. Through trials and whispers, I grew stronger with time. What was hidden from me now sings in rhyme. Oh, but I saw them mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that eternal return? Are you conscious, do you burn, do you want to learn? Answer the call.
Remember, recover, return, my brothers and sisters, vril brothers and sisters of the vril sign. And hello, greetings, peace, love, and light to your astral hearts, and each and every one making an effort to follow Mother. I project the you are Oz, the yours, the urus, the you are rune to your astral heart. And as that sign represents the inventor of the runes, Brother Lucifer, St. Louis, yes, the inventor of blues, Lou. And I do want to, because he is a model, a mentor. We should be teaching our children. You want to grow up to be like Lou. You want to grow up to be the hero. Not the victim, of course, because Mother isn't dealing with that. Not in a simulation. In a simulation, the warrior has come to fight war, and that separates him into the impossibility of being a victim. And as she said, the war began when you were born, the moment, and like nature, too bad that you didn't know your enemies. That's the way it is. That's how life is for a warrior. And by instinct. Growing up in America as a brainwashed, non-denominational Christian, which was remarkably Baptist, remarkably boring, incredibly boring. Growing up a Christian makes you a default victim. You are automatically the victim of your own nature, even back further, your mother and father's nature, because somehow, some way, your soul carried the essence of your mother. According to the Bible and Christians, your soul carried the nature of your mother and father, because everyone is a, quote, sinner, defined basically as not perfect. But in a final irony, Jesus declares war on truly victimized women and children. Should I say that again? In the final scene of Jesus' life, do you hear me? He spit in the face of the victims of the man hanging on a cross next to him. He confessed, what Christians have to do, that he really genuinely was a thief that destroyed people's lives by stealing what they worked for. Hello? Does your government do that? Buy bombs and drop them on working class people like you? But and I'm not talking to our brothers and sisters, but the masses in America, they declare, we don't care. They declare, kill, 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 kill the poor. As long as I get mines. Right, America? The warrior is the astral warrior of Wotan, Odin, Lucifer, because he's our hero. In a world that took place before our physical creation, there were men like us, but they were bigger and smarter and more efficient. You might say more wise overall. But, as Lou said, how ironic that we, the gods and the smaller men, ended up in the same place. We can't get along. We can't stop fighting. And the whole human race of bigger people had a similar governmental structure to ours. Like everything we do is based on what they did. In a natural sort of repeating, like Lou said, from a million miles away, you could see the smaller man's going down the exact same path that we went down. Greed, bitterness, like Lou said, the bitterness of broken hearts, the bitterness of rejection fuels so many, mostly men, but also women. That's why a lot of dumb asses join the military and go start killing people for rich people. This hopelessness that is like a fungus growing in America, multiplying, being fed. And, it's the rise of the retards like Jordan Peterson. Man, fuck you, dude. You suck. You're so fucking boring with your trying so hard to be original with your Bible bullshit. Dude, you should be burning your Bible. Fool. Brothers and sisters, let's send some energy, to the youth. Turn away from the Christians. Once and for all, they slaughtered our ancestors. Be similar to the Palestinians going and buddying up with the people who collapsed buildings on their toddlers. Their young teenagers. Their grandpas and grandmas. What is wrong with people? Everyone knows the Crusades, which were very late. I mean, there were 50,000 Crusades before the first official one. You know why? It goes back to the very beginning. It goes back to Lou, even. It's the anti-golden thread. Lou and Donna are the golden thread through the small man's history. Lou and Donna, the rebels of eternal true love, who only had each other. Very similar to Maria Orsic and her husband. Also, the real Jesus, Jason, and his wife, Hella, whom we love so deeply. And we send out our deepest energetic love. These are the stripped down archetypes in your unconscious that the black magicians of the process church, whom President Trump is part of. Look it up, research it. You will see Trump was right in the heart of the process, Church of the Final Judgment, and that's why He's playing his part in the final judgment of a fake God and a fake story, and its meaning is to draw in the fake people who would dare carry the book around and try to teach out of the book of the very people who murdered and tortured our ancestors, who cut babies out of my ancestors' wombs, who strangled children to death because they were sons and daughters of sorcerers. And do you understand, to this day, these retarded people with their retarded book say anything not according to this book is demonic, evil, to be punished, like astrology, like wearing mixed fibers, like eating meat and dairy at the same time. Oh my God, God's offended. You better bring 3 turtle doves and 2 rams to the temple and cut their throats and waste it. 2 people in this world that Maria told me, listen, I am going to do you a favor. When their mouths start speaking, don't listen. The Christian fake Jews, the fake chosen and the fake new chosen, right? The fake Old Testament chosen and the fake New Testament chosen, right? She said, listen, I'm doing you a favor. They are speaking spells in Crowley's magic, Yahweh's magic. Most people are no match for these spells because they come with lots of energy, lots of magic, black magic. I shouldn't have to say that. That book is evil. What the fuck are you doing? That book says to torture animals. And I'm recording this 11/16/2024. And I just want to throw in there, I watched a video of Israeli soldiers shooting horses that were running away from them in Gaza, our West Bank, Palestine, 2024. Nothing is new under the sun. Evil people are evil, I'm speaking truth. It is what it is, so be it. And I really will let it be a long time ago. Because Maria, I have to say, I have to pause and say, I don't feel like I'm representing her, well, even though she says I'm doing great. Maria is a person of finality. You will find that as the essence trait of a Scorpio. That's why it stings you with the tail. It's like, I'm done with you. Bam! And its hard shell is like, I'm protecting myself from you. You're on the outside. I don't have lukewarm. I don't have in between. I don't know what the middle is. This is Maria. And she's very into vows, promises, official, ritualistic, ritualized vows and promises. She wants you to swear to it. And she wants to see whether your word is the Word of God. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to say this one more time. You, to Westerners, to former Christians, former Judaized white people, black people, Latinos, all of us Western Christianized, even if we didn't like it, they took the Bible out of the school, but they didn't take the Christian out of the fucking teachers or the authors of the curriculums, because Christianity is the black magic of the process church of the final judgment. Christianity is Crowleyanity. Christianity is Crowleyanity. Those super deep parts in Romans and Corinthians and all that were edited and written by Aleister Crowley. How can you prove that? I don't want you to believe me. The person thinking that, go away. To the people who do know what's going on, to the people who care and are looking at the world and going, this doesn't make sense. Trump just named every super Christian left behind. We're getting raptured. I love Israel person to his government. Do you think that's a coincidence to what I'm saying about the process church of the final judgment? Who, if you would see, controlled the Grateful Dead, the Beatles, Stanley Kubrick, Hollywood, the government, prostitution, slavery, sex, magic. Did you hear me? They introduced sex magic to the West. And with a direct evil intent on destroying every single soul on the physical plane. That's the day of the Lord. And they came out to the world and preached to the world that God is Satan. Their three gods were Lucifer, Jehovah, and Jesus. Or was that Satan, Jehovah, and Lucifer? And sometimes they had four gods because it was the 4 P's of the process. And you can bet with all of everything you have, Manly P. Hall stood for process. Because that's what your unconscious agrees to. Everything is a process. Everything. Past is a process. Future is a process. Present is a process. Why? It's all happened. And it can be proven by going on to other planes of existence. It's a circle of how many years? I don't know. 5,000 billion. 7 trillion willion. But we do know. Everyone of the process knows that it's a process because it's processing what has already happened. And that is why Lou and the gods say these sayings like, so be it, let it be. As it was, so it will be. Because dig deep inside yourself, you'll find there is a limit. There's a limit. to your imagination, we would never concede to that. I mean, you are God over yourself and only yourself. You're all knowing and know everything that will ever be and what has been. You're everywhere with every form of you. Every thought is a form of the true self. If it's your thought. And black magic is to put your thoughts in someone else's mind. Like Maria said, how boring to manipulate someone and use someone is boring. And you're all powerful over you. And your true self is your guardian angel, and always has been, because you're ever present in all your forms. And you might be wondering, what do you mean all your forms? Well, we teach Maria's teachings foundational. You are in a simulation, and if you're good, the goal is to get out of the simulation. And to get out of the simulation, you must completely leave the avatar simulated body through her ritual. In short, 5 grams of mushrooms or ayahuasca or whatever. Do this alone or with your best friend or something. Do not go to the Amazon or anything like that. Do it in the safest place that you know of, and you will discover that this is what it means to be born again, because you give birth to a astral self, which will help you understand everything about the simulation, and the avatar, which is sleeping back home on Venus, connected into the simulation. Okay? So it's like the avatar has to create an avatar on another plane of existence within the simulation, and nourish and grow and make strong the avatar. I mean, the avatar's avatar, the astral self. That's what we would call the astral self. So you have the true self eternally on another plane, the physical self on Venus in the future, jacked into technology. Or did I say astral self? I'm sorry. Let me start over. You have the true self on another plane, eternal, safe, creating the physical avatar. That's what we call it. And that is in the future from right now that you're listening. Far, far in the future. And you are plugged in to technology that's allowing you to experience what it was like to live in the past. And it's so natural that it goes in a DNA sequence and you can only enter it through DNA timeline. You can't be someone else or anything like that. There's, as Maria's taught me, there's other simulations for that. This is the simulation for learning. And basically, once you're practicing a meditation with a magic plants that gets you on to these other planes, you start to grow, learn, and become strong. And I realized I had to create my own path out of here. That was the answer, that there's no teacher that can teach you your path. And I'm here to say the best teacher ever helped me. But as she said, it's in you to create. And you wouldn't have it any other way. And this is not everyone's purpose in coming here. I'm giving you my story to give credibility to the teachings that Maria is giving you through me. And it's all about happiness. And we believe balance is happiness. So if you want a lot of love, passionate, fiery love, you're going to have passionate, fiery hate for people who do things worthy of the hate. And to the hot or cold, we believe that it's wrong not to be angry. Or we simply say, yeah, they aren't of us, clearly. And this would be, and then I will switch here, but I just would give a couple more pointers that she gave me. It's a warrior's path. You must create it, but it's a warrior's path. It's not gonna be of this world. It's not gonna be easy, comforting, comfortable. It's not gonna be. I should say it like this. It's going to be, as she said. And she said, being someone afraid of heights, it's going to be walking on the edge of a cliff, 1,000-foot drop off for the rest of your life. And so many, weird things have happened. There's no use talking about them. No one cares. Like, I've seen something hovering over my house that's very small, but they want me to see it because it flashes a few times right before it flies off, because they want me to see it. Because they want on that day to say, you were afraid. But I'm not. Because I suppose I've been trained by Maria so much, because fear is an emotion. Fear is an emotion you feel. And when they say you're afraid, I say, no, honestly, I don't feel afraid. I'm not afraid. And that is because of Maria's training and simply the mantra of remember, recover, return. Anyone that's going to keep you from that is going to keep you here in misery, in your own misery because you can't do anything about the evil you're watching. And it doesn't help to say it's not real because it's the principle that's bothering us. It's the principle of knowing in our unconscious there are lots of people who will murder and kill women and children for money. Essentially, that's what it is about. It's about something, like Maria says, something we can't understand, Joe. It's not of our nature. And that's why she said, I counted the things you did as a Christian Rastafarian, your effort, but it hurt me to see you be kind to your enemies who were wearing a mask, laughing behind the mask as they manipulate. And I just want to switch and just talk about Maria's life in the context of my experience. I specifically remember this ritual was done with my wife, Joey, and she had a very powerful night of her own, but this is the night where I seen the girl in the tulip field. It gave me the tulip, and like, I didn't know at the time, but that was like the assurance that I was going to get out of here. Because as Lucifer said, it was up to me and I sent her. He said to me, that's when it was declared that you were going. This was your final round. Like, you did it. You broke the simulated eternal return. And, you know, this was a second chance at the reality that happened to me when I died. The first round of the simulation. Because for those of you that don't know, the first life you live in the simulation repeats after that until you stop it from repeating. And for our people, it's only through this ritual, customized your own way, but basically a union with the sun, moon, stars, the plants, the trees, the river, all of nature, and your ancestors who are in you, even rooting for you, until you come into being one again with all those things you were one with before you came here, including the people. You aren't getting out of here. And that's why I did a lot of the things I did, because I knew I can't get out of here if I don't. Like, you know, it just comes to my mind. I went to two people who I barely knew, you know, and tried to explain all of this in 5 minutes and tell them, like, I knew you before we came here, you know, which for me was embarrassing, you know, but I want out of here. I really do. Because I know where the people who really care about me are, or enjoy me and I enjoy them, or something like that. You know, care might not be the best word. But back to the vision. I knew something so dramatic happened with that young lady and the tulip girl. I shouldn't say young lady. She was a girl, like 7 or 8. And as I said, she was telling me the story that Miguel Serrano was our God and that he wrote our myth and that I am, that it's all true, that it really comes true. And it was so powerful. Her words were so powerful. It forced my spirit, my essence, my astral self, I should say. It forced, because I couldn't, I was just astounded at what she was saying. Because if you don't know, Miguel Serrano is Maria Orsic's author on Earth. He's the author of her teachings in the 3 teaching books, not his. I mean, all of them are, have something to do with the little blonde goddess. But for me and Maria, I truly can speak for her on this. The greatest artist of all time is Miguel Serrano. And the reason why all this is Miguel Serrano in 1945, when Lucifer, Wotan Odin, was taking people from the earth and rescuing them. He, on another, as Maria told me, on another plane, he agreed to stay. He agreed to be the artist of the apocalypse, of the end. And when the nuclear bomb started hitting, Maria Orsic rescued Miguel Serrano and took him to Venus because, for one reason, the myth, Nos, the book of the resurrection, which has a prelude called Worship of Love. And like she said, it was a special favor from Lucifer to her to allow her, against the rules of the gods, to go back one more time to Earth. And she rescued Miguel Serrano. And many millions of years later, when the Aldebaran gods, including our Lucifer, created the holographic Earth, what I've been calling the simulation, the hologram, and Miguel Serrano was chosen by the God of this age to be the God of our land, of the whole Western Hemisphere, the whole non-Hindu world, basically. Because Hyperborean, Aryan Hinduism, as best as we would term it today, was a universal myth describing all of natural science and natural law, and was a universal ritualistic religion for everyone, the sun, the moon, the stars. What is the sun? The mystery is the sun, the black sun. What's behind the sun? That's the mystery that all of the West misses. And what is behind the sun? Your heart, your essence, your true self. You are nature. You are the sun. And that vision switched the vision from, and I'll just, if I just want to go back, if it's not clear, Miguel Serrano, comes back to the simulation every time it repeats and lives, if anyone understands it, a life of suffering. And you might say, well, he had No, he didn't. Because he didn't care. And what he cared about, he had to be separated from every time it repeats. None of us like going through painful things. I mean, this is where the respect and recognition comes from. It doesn't come from your successes. It's not. And this is so the girl in the tulip, the sign that I was going home, switched to me standing about 10 feet from Adolf Hitler during a World War II, a parade of troops who were going off to die. Like my mind met Hitler's mind in the simulation reality. Maybe it wasn't the first time, because that's how good the simulation is. Even the thoughts are naturally flowing. But to tell you the truth, I experienced this because in the first time real reality, Maria Orsic was standing there in real life because Adolf Hitler brought her there and put her there to bless each and every brave soldier who was marching, as they both knew, to die, to just buy time for her and Lou to complete the transfer to another parallel universe, so that we wouldn't all become trapped on the astral plane of Earth. That is exactly what I've been told. See, when America, Russia, Britain, the rest of Europe, when the elite black magicians figured out Maria Orsic, Hitler, and these people have already left to another world. They went insane and killed everyone. And you're going to see that repeat. They're actually repeating the same ritual that they did in 1947 when they rained down bombs, which they were the first ones to ever drop on Japan on innocent women and children. Remember that. I want you to think about that. The American leadership said drop those experimental nuclear bombs that we know will be damaging people for millions of years. Drop them on women and children. Drop them on non-warriors who don't want to fight. Do you understand? That's the mentality. And after they figured out all these people have already left with the help of their gods, they set out to enslave humanity by killing everyone and setting them up for astral enslavement. And that is and was and will always be the purpose of Maria Orsic, and that's what she did. That's why she's a great mother, because she saved everyone who loves freedom, loves truth. She saved us from a reality that we will never know, but could have been, as they themselves describe, as hell. Like, that's what they wanted to do. That was their psycho mentality of like, we lost. They escaped. They went to another world. We can't control them. They won. And they went psycho crazy. And you see the same thing is happening right now. The little girl that was shot by the tank, by the Israeli tank, she won. Because now the whole world hates you. The Lebanese people being crushed under their houses, they're winning. Because every day I pray to Lucifer to punish America, destroy America. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Look at these fat glutton motherfuckers, Shiva. Get them. They're winning. The victims are winning because they're winning the hearts of every single good person in all the worlds.